Let's dive right into this explainer. When we think about the truly great early civilizations, our minds usually jump straight to the grand, famous centers of power, right? Well, today we are heading straight for the edge of the map. We're exploring the Harappan Frontier, specifically looking at the Bronze Age settlements discovered in Uttar Pradesh, a region that fundamentally bridges the gap between two monumental eras of human history.
So how far east did the Indus Valley civilization really stretch? It's a fascinating question. We typically anchor this brilliant society in modern-day Pakistan and northwestern India. But actually, their reach pushed way past the Indus River basin, bleeding deep into territories we never originally expected. To make this complex journey easy to grasp, we are breaking it down into 5 quick chapters: the Eastern Harappan Frontier, unearthing major settlements, the secrets of Sonali, economy and daily life, and finally, the cultural transition.
Let's jump into Chapter 1, the Eastern Harappan Frontier. We are redrawing the ancient map.
Just think about the sheer scale here. Up north, they reached all the way to Jammu. Down south, the mouth of the Narmada River. Out west, the Makran coast in Balochistan. But here is the absolute game changer, that eastern boundary stretching right into the Meerut region of Uttar Pradesh. UP wasn't just some remote border outpost. It was a critical, buzzing bridge connecting the core Indus region to the massive Ganga-Yamuna plains.
Moving right along to Chapter 2, Unearthing Major Settlements. Let's explore the edge of the empire.
Now, we aren't just talking about a few broken pots scattered around Uttar Pradesh. The diversity of what archaeologists have dug up is honestly staggering. We found actual brick houses in Alamgirpur, little clay toy carts in Hulas, household utensils in Badgan and Champur, and get this, literal gold objects hinting at serious wealth in Mandi. This was a vibrant, deeply layered society.
And Alamgirpur is the real anchor for this whole eastern expansion. Discovered back in 1958 by Yagyadut Sharma, right on the banks of the Hindon River, it's officially the easternmost site we have. It proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that Harappan traditions, expert craftsmanship, and organized civic planning thrived far outside their core region.
I absolutely love looking at this because you get 2 totally different lenses. On a macro level, you've got these highly organized, planned settlements with brick-built houses that took serious civic engineering. But zoom into the micro level and you find things like beads, ornaments, and roti-making boards. Honestly, how relatable is that? It just reminds us that 4,000 years ago, history was made by everyday people simply making dinner in their brick houses.
Chapter 3, The Secrets of Sonali, the Warriors of the Frontier.
If you want a discovery that completely flipped the historical script, it's Sonali. Excavated by the Archaeological Survey of India, this ancient 4,000-year-old burial ground is a massive deal. It gives us an unprecedented peek into their elaborate burial practices, proving they had a highly stratified society with very specific, complex rituals for sending their people into the afterlife.
And what they pulled out of the ground there, absolutely mind-blowing. They unearthed 3 full chariots buried right alongside the dead, along with weapons, shields, luxury ornaments, and animal remains. Finding this kind of military hardware literally buried there strongly points to a highly organized warrior elite living right on this eastern edge. So, scratch the idea of a quiet farming village. This was a protected, powerful stronghold.
Which obviously brings up a huge question. What does Sonali actually tell us about early warfare and this massive cultural transition? Finding actual chariots and weapons has sparked some seriously intense debates about indigenous chariot traditions and how ancient Indian warfare really worked. It's totally shifting how we understand the military tech of the era.
Chapter 4, Economy and Daily Life, Crafting a Civilization.
Because it wasn't all just warriors in chariots. The everyday economy here was bustling. We're talking highly specialized craft production, artisans making beads, bangles, and toys in this cool mix of urban and rural planned settlements. Plus, they were incredibly connected. They had strong trade networks moving goods around, backed by some seriously advanced metallurgical knowledge in both copper and gold. And finally, Chapter 5, The Cultural Transition, the Bridge to the Ganga. So the Bronze Age Harappan culture eventually peaks and starts to shift. We see this super clear technological transition into what's called the Chalcolithic or Copper Stone Age. Basically, communities at Alamgirpur, Hulas, and Badgan didn't just vanish into thin air. They evolved into these transitional agricultural settlements, laying the absolute groundwork for the next big era.
And that groundwork blossoms into the Northern Black Polished Ware culture, or NBPW. If you see this highly polished black pottery, you know you're looking at the later Vedic and Mahayanapada periods, roughly 700 to 200 BCE. The big takeaway here? This NBPW culture marks a huge return to urbanization in the Ganga Valley, showing a direct, undeniable link right back to those earlier Harappan pioneers on the frontier.
To put it all into perspective, just look at how this builds over time. You start with the Bronze Age Harappan culture, which morphs into the Copper-Stone Chalcolithic, evolving straight into the later Vedic, then hitting the NBPW culture and peaking in the Mahayanapada period. Uttar Pradesh wasn't just the end of the line, it was the essential bridge between the fall of the Indus cities and the rise of the massive Ganga Valley empires.
If you take away just one single thing from our explainer today, let it be this. Alamgirpur marks the easternmost limit of the Harappan civilization, while Sonauli provides crucial evidence of ancient burial traditions and warrior culture in western Uttar Pradesh. Together, they completely redefine the history of this region.
It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? We found chariots, brick houses, and gold in places we used to think were completely off the ancient radar. So what other ancient secrets might still be buried right now beneath the Ganga-Yamuna plains? How many more frontiers are just waiting down there to rewrite our history books all over again? Thanks for hanging out and exploring the Harappan frontier with me today.